In this video, I'm going to take you through my full tutor analysis, part 1 of the ACCA December 2025 sitting, where we're going to be going through the SBL pre-scene information for the company Levwell Plc. My name is James, and if you'd like access to my exclusive SBL notes, you can see above me that have helped thousands of students around the world to pass their examination. Click the link in the description of this video, and you can download a copy yourself. I'm also delighted to say I'm affiliated and associated with Astranti. They offer mock examination packs that are actually based on the pre-scene information for Levwell Plc, along with their full analysis information packs that breaks everything down. Again, click the link in the description of this video. You can check out all their resources. And for pure transparency, as always on the channel, if you were to purchase anything, I'd be entitled to a small percentage which goes to supporting the content and the channel on there. So a massive, huge thank you for all your support. If you actually have any questions on the pre-scene notes, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I will definitely get back to you, as it could be the difference in getting you that 50 plus. But now let's make a start on the contents page. What would I go about if I was in your situation? Well, first of all, it has to be about separating out your own notes section by section, whether that be the industry challenges, the board structure. It's so that on the exam day, you have that picture in your mind that no matter what they throw at you in the requirements, you've got something to talk about and you've put it into your own words, along with using my notes you can see on the screen. The other factors I've got down below on here are the actual corporate governance key areas, professional skills marks, the 3 E's model, lots of different things on there you can read in your own time, and you'll see on the other videos on my channel. Some are more likely than others, but you've got to be able to apply these business models and theories to the scenario, to the unseen information that comes up on the exam day. And that is what is going to get you the high marks on there. So I'm going to get stuck into the nitty gritty, the information that we're given in the pre-scene that could help you. And even if you've got the exam tomorrow, this could make the difference. Well, Levwell or Levwell Plc, depends which one you want to refer to. Either will be fine on the exam day. Key thing here, owns and operates 35 high quality 4-star hotels in Estland. They only operate in Estland and they only have 35 on there. The 4 stars really key because you could talk about if they want to get promoted or they may get demoted on there. And the key bit here is their target market is primarily leisure guests, not business guests. We're then told about the sort of things, as you would imagine, from an SBL examination pre-scene, the hotel industry itself, sort of setting the scene on there about the different people who stay there, short-term accommodation, the different facilities, and the various income streams and attractions that you would expect at a 4-star hotel on that. Now, for your notes, you need to get down those different areas about treatment, swimming pools, bars. Those are the specifics that you need to apply on the exam day in your analysis. There are 2 types of guests, business and leisure, but they have different requirements. And that is where there could be a sort of strategy case on the exam day. Who knows? I don't have a crystal ball, but these would be the things about managing guests' expectations. What does actually Levwell have in terms of the hotels that they operate in? We're given more information later on. But the leisure guests are more there for sort of personal reasons, as you would imagine, whereas business guests want good Wi-Fi and they are there for work purposes. It's, as you would imagine. The key phrase here is that leisure guests tend to be more price sensitive than business guests and typically stay for longer. So that is who Levwell actually target, and a massive key phrase that you need to be aware of, and I would definitely apply on the exam day. As you would imagine, they've given us a rating system of 1 to 5 stars. They've put this on there basically so that a student maybe doesn't get that number 1 isn't mixed up as being like a really good thing. But we're also told that in terms of Estland, they actually have these ratings that are done by inspectors. The National Tourist Board of Visit Estland were given more information on page 7, but it's based on the 3 variables of room quality, service quality, and the range of facilities. So when you're talking about the hotels themselves, think about those 3 areas and get them down in your analysis. That's where I've also got, as you can see on here, Porter's Diamond, Porter's Five Forces, some more theories for you to consider, and to go into a bit more detail that when you do some of the Estranti mock papers, they've actually included some of these business models within those mock papers as to what their professional markers actually think are going to come up. So if you'll get on to pages 3 and 4 now, starting on the left-hand side, and as you would imagine, they've given us a breakdown of what a 4-star hotel actually is, where Levwell PLC actually fits in, the key facilities and services the customers or guests would actually be expecting, and what a 4-star status kind of hotel needs to provide. Looking at the variables on there, you've got to think to yourself, well, what does Levwell actually have to do to actually get themselves up to the 5-star? And that's that world-class luxury personalised service. But you've got to have in the back of your mind, what if they were to get demoted down to 3 stars? Could be a possibility, but just to be aware of. So setting a 4-star hotel out for Levwell PLC, I'd say that's reasonably premium prices, something to be aware of maybe when you're talking about it. It's not going to be cheap as chips on there, put it that way. Now, coming on to the hotel industry structure itself, this is critical that a student who's doing this SBL exam gets their head around which one does Levwell PLC fall under. And they are a chain on there. They are not part of an independent. They could buy up independent hotels, single-owned hotels, to put into their portfolio, but they are a hotel chain. We'll see later on that they are of a bespoke standard, that each hotel is individual to itself, and that's where you've got the other variables about quality standards on there. We've got Levwell has one website on page 10. Every Levwell hotel is actually different. If you look at page 8, Levwell doesn't usually acquire hotels as well. That's another thing just to wrap your head around. They try to do it more organically on there, maybe actually build the hotels themselves. We've also got a key stat on there that we've got independent hotels are a significant part of the market in Estland, accounting for 48% of the supply of guest rooms in 2004. So that is what we're looking at in terms of competition, that the independent hotels take up 48% of the market. And we'll come on to page 4 in a moment on the right-hand side, but you've got some of the main key competitors on there of Beston, Travelwise, Vacant, Yelton and Haliot. They are the big competitors on there that we need to be aware of. Hotel chains, lastly on page 3, in Estland have also increased their numbers of hotels through organic growth, so opening up their own new hotels or partnering arrangements on there. So Levwell doesn't have a franchise, which we're going to come on to in a moment. Levwell actually opens up new hotels themselves. That is the way that they operate, and you've got to make sure that you understand the ins and outs of their business model. And speaking of business model, you can see it on the right hand side now. We have two main operating models, owner managed and franchised on there. If you have a flick down to page 8, Levwell PLC confirmed as using the owner managed model on there. So for your notes, they are, in terms of the industry structure, a chain, and the business model, owner managed on there. Now this is where you can see in my notes about the strategies and performance being long-term and short-term factors on there. This is where you've got to be aware and be able to picture how the structure actually works. And then in terms of a sort of SWOT analysis, potentially for growth, make sure you understand the actual franchise model. I know lots of students might get a bit confused by what a franchisee or the franchisor actually is, who makes the payments to who. It could be linked into a sort of business model where they might be tempted to switch to a different business model. Again, you've just got to have that in the back of your mind come the exam day. And then we're told as well from the franchise perspective about the logistics of third-party real estate companies, standards on there, day-to-day operations, lots of things that you need to be aware of, because out of the top 5 companies, so the 5 largest hotel chains in Estland account for 23.1% of the total supply of the hotel rooms. If you look on the diagram on the right-hand side, 3 of them are franchised, 2 of them are owner-managed. And for a bit of perspective on here as well, they're all based in Estland, just like we have for Levwell. Levwell does not operate internationally. We're not given much about any of the other firms operating internationally on there, but we were told that the 5 largest hotel chains in Estland account for 23.1% for the actual market itself. This is where you've got to be really, really careful about understanding the perspective of what is going on in the marketplace. So if we focus in on the table now a bit more specifically, and we're not told obviously about Levwell being on there, but I've put on my notes just under where the number of hotels in Estland for Beston, Travelwise, Vacant, Yelton, we've got 504, 288, 174. I'll even put my mouse on it for you. Levwell, for perspective, only have 35. They're very niche, very bespoke in terms of what they actually offer. I've totaled up the 23.1 you'll see in the percentage of total hotels in Estland, just for your peace of mind to reconcile it on there for all the accountants out there. Now we have to look at the other one, the average number of rooms per hotel. This is the other staggering thing. Remember from the page up above on page 2, we're told that Levwell only has 80 rooms per hotel, and you can also see that on page 8. Look at the competitors, Beston Travelwise, 150, 140, 145. The size and scale and the difference in the larger companies on there. The only thing for your notes is that we're not told the percentage of the market share or the percentage of the total number of rooms in Estland, or the total number of market share really that we actually have for Levwell in Estland. That would be something that maybe they could throw up on the exam day. Again, tricky one. Hard to tell where we're at the moment. We're now getting on to the next sort of other areas of the nitty-gritties of diving into more specific areas about, maybe we've got on here, as you can see, the revenue streams. So the majority of actual revenue from accommodation, food and drink and sales are important to additional revenue streams. I think some students who aren't prepared, or they might panic on the exam day, might go, right, it's a hotel chain, I've read it through once, I kind of get what you mean, and they'll write in their answers, yep, they make all their money through actually, as you would imagine, a hotel sells rooms on there. But you can see on here, 60 to 70% of their total revenue from accommodation is linked to the rooms. You have the other 25 to 35% on there, which links into other revenue, but that is from the food and drink. That's why it's really important that you talk about those other areas in the actual hotel, the bars, the restaurants on there, that they can bring in other customers. We were also talking about other services, so weddings, business conferences, spas, beauty treatments. They usually account for 5 to 10%. When it comes to Levwell Plc on there, we'll see later on that's at only about 5%, so another revenue opportunity on there. But the other key thing, this is a major key thing for you to get down. I'm going to even put my mouse on it, and I've got in my notes, key phrase to note down. The restaurants and bars in many hotels are open to non-residents, so people who are not staying there, people who are able to actually go into the hotels to buy food and drink in their actual restaurant and bar. Okay, now the key thing for your notes is on page 9, Levwell Plc do not allow non-residents, people from the general public, to actually just walk into the hotel and say, yep, I fancy dinner here tonight, I'm going to pay on that. That is a real key thing in terms of maybe expanding their revenue streams, and could be applied in anything from sort of a SWOT analysis on there. Definitely get that down in your notes. It is a massive key factor. The other one, you can see where my mouse is, I really want to hit home as being a real important point. The operating profit margin for hotels in Estland is typically around 10%. Now, if you've got my notes, scroll down to page 13, because the operating profit margin, when I first looked at it, it was floating around about 13, 14%. And you kind of go, well, revenue's going up, and surely the operating profit margin should be higher than that. Well, in actual fact, when you take a step back and you look at what we're getting here in terms of Levwell Plc holistically as an overview, they're doing really well in terms of compared to their competitors in the market. Their operating profit margins are a lot higher. Their actual occupancy rates are a lot higher. they're going for a real niche effect in terms of the number of hotels and the number of rooms, that everything is bespoke, it's individual, and so when the leisure guests come and spend time there, even though there are seasonality factors, which we'll come on to later on, they really enjoy what they are actually purchasing. It's very individualistic to it. And as you can see there, the key bit from an economic point, from a pestle analysis point of view, it's monopolistic competition that we currently have in Estland, where we've got many firms, differentiated products, but limited market power. Competitors can't really do much. It's a case of, if you're going to stay there, maybe price is a key thing, which we've talked about. But from that is where I think on here, Levwell Plc are quite fitting into that niche market, that people are willing to pay that extra bit. They've got the high standards of being 4-star, and that is where I think they've really got a good standing as to a really good fit about what a guest can expect if they were to stay there, and they're willing to actually pay the money on it. Well, that takes us through, I would say, our first part for today, which is the business models, the introduction, the types of guests, and really setting the scene for what you need to know about the pre-seed information with those business models as well. As I said, if you'd like access to my exclusive SBL notes, click the link in the description. You can download a copy there, along with make sure you check out those Astranti resources, the mock exam papers, the pre-seed analysis packs. They're definitely going to help you out to pass. So I'll see you on the other side now for part 2, to help you to get that 50+ on your SBL exam. So like and subscribe, and thank you very much.